Okay, let's see what we can do with this motor starter. So most motor starters have a wiring diagram and specifications in the lid of the motor starter, but I'm missing the lid on this, so I don't have any of those diagrams. I'm going to take some time and I'm going to map out all the wiring on this. One thing I'm noticing is this jumper that goes from the big motor starter to the little motor starter here, and I'm going to infer that that is so that if either stop button is pushed, both motors will stop. I took a good high-res photo of the wiring on this so I can document it, but I need to remove these switches so I can get the wiring underneath, and like these fasteners are just completely disintegrating. Let's see how this one is. That one's okay. Wow. So there's a little lock washer underneath that screw. It just totally disintegrated. I don't know why people leave their machines out in the rain. Okay. For these fasteners, I want to be able to remove them without them shearing off in the phenolic casing of the switch. If those shear out of the phenolic, then I don't have a way to get them out of the phenolic once they break. So I'll let those soak for a few days and come back and try to get them loose. For these pairs of wire here and here and here and here, those are just wires that go to the coil, so I'm not too worried about those, keeping track of them. I am worried about all these fasteners though, like those there, there. Those are all so rusted, I'm afraid those may shear off when I go to loosen them. Wow, that was like really tight. I lost that one too. Okay, like everything else on this starter, all the fasteners under this switch are corroded. I'll put some Coil oil on those and see if we can loosen them up. In addition to some photos I've taken of the wiring, I made a really high-tech drawing of it. So all the fasteners on the underside of these switches are very rusted. So they're going to get a bath of Coil oil. And then these backing plates from the two switches are in really bad shape, so I'm going to see if I can find some little phenolic sheet or something to replace them. We can get rid of some of this extra wiring, including the motor leads and the power leads. I'm going to have to cut this one off because the head is completely destroyed. So there's the coil that I might be worried about. And then the core of the coil is pretty rusted, but it might be salvageable. At some point somebody put a piece of paper between the two motor starters for insulation. lots more rust. And I'm a little concerned about this covering on the coil disintegrating. Anyway, I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to finish disassembling these, and I'll come back once we're ready to clean them up or put them back together. Well, I did a little more disassembly on one of the motor starters. I also disassembled one of the thermal overloads, and I stripped off the fastener in the process of taking it apart, and all this stuff is corroded. It was packed with sawdust. Here's another one that's, I haven't unpacked all the sawdust yet. So I'm going to largely abandon trying to reuse this old motor starter and see if I can get either another used one or a new one. So instead, I'm going to focus on pulling that small motor out of there and making sure that it runs. I'll use the motor starter from one of my other machines to test it.